to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. Now I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. Now I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I stay true to it, but you already knew it. Elevating everybody every time I do it. Initiating, integrating, innovating. To the recipient is liberated. I act lewd on the loop that you load up. All these niggas wanna do is get loaded. Sniff on a soda, flip on the focus. I see holes and they hope like center of a donut. Like a center when he poster. End up on a poster, they blab and they boaster. In the lab where I roast ya, where I swore to protect the soul of the culture. Eye of the beholder, indigo like my aura. Door shut, shine like a light beam through a keyhole. Downloading a cheat code, president get vetoed. Bruising his ego, his acts are illegal. A martyr or a hero, him getting murdered. I murder for the people. Rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. Now I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. Now I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro.
I once imagined this day would happen. My soul set free on the page, just rapping. Who else but me gon' bring that action? Get away clean, too mean with antics. Talk shit, I'ma leave with that bitch. Wanna drink, I'ma leave with that fit. On the brink, come to me for that hit. Heroin high, got beats for that fix. Overdubs turned into ad-libs. Trap pads turned into mansions. Turned out basic to average. Turns out that shit's called entrapment. Told them give it to me straight up. Like scratch on the wax from the DJ's fade up. No claim to religion, but that's how we live, and I promise that Jesus my savior.
To the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. Now I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. Now I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro. I said I rock to the rhythm, roll with the nigga. I been on that motherfucking tangent. I forget to ask and the wet up at the ashes. I murder on the micro.
You were tuned into the freshest, the dopest, the one and only www.diggingdaily.com, broadcasting live on a Friday night. And all I want to do is murder this laptop, giving me a bunch of motherfucking headaches right here. As always, we got a special guest, and today is no exception. We got a veteran in the game.
What?
I guess you could say, I don't know. I don't know. You got to earn your stripes, homie.
Yeah, and I'm with that.
But who we got? Introduce yourself.
My name is Veteran Fresh RAHEEM, motherfucker. Cola Crew, Poetic Prophets, 626 Hip Hop is still moving.
That's what's up. That's what's up. If you don't know and you need to know, sit back, relax. It's going to be a dope ass interview. We're going to talk a lot of shit. We're going to talk a lot of history. And you definitely got to know about this gentleman and his affiliation, his crew, because this is going to be another education. So take out your pen and papers.
Los Angeles Underground, boys.
And get ready to learn some shit right here. Cola Crew. Talk about Cola Crew. For those that don't know, speak about it.
Creators of the Lost Starts, man. This is like a San Gabriel Valley, East Los Angeles group that was established late 90s, early 2000s, with like the head coming from the Rhyme Fighters, Haywire and Quasar. And they just went out. They had a bunch of dudes that were hungry, just going nuts on open mics early, running through Project Glow, all the spots that I was too young to go to at the time. And as the years went on, Quasar would kind of recruit different groups and shit. And somehow we had met through paths, and it was like, yo, he heard our shit. It was so bootleg, the situation we were in. We brought like an analog 4-track to the session with him,
That shit's fucking. That's dope right there. That's
Oh my-
hip hop right there.
dude. Yeah, like I literally have a little bit of some 4-track recordings that like I'm like, yo, I did that shit too, you know. And he walked out the room, comes back, and he's like, we're having a meeting on Sunday. If you guys could make it, come through. We want to check you out. And from there, we're like, what the fuck just happened, right? And from there on, we just kind of got indoctrinated into fucking Cola Crew and been pushing that shit ever since. And it's been nothing but dope fucking lyrics since.
Talking about that, so that's how you guys got indoctrinated. You guys got indoctrinated as a group, Poetic
As
Prophets.
a cult. I mean, yes, as a group.
As a group. So talk about. So talk about the early years of Poetic Prophets. Talk about that.
Poetic Prophets is crazy. So like, yeah, we all went to high school together, right?
Yeah.
So we've known each other forever, and in high school we all partied, and we just kept like hip hop was huge, right? You
Yeah.
have during my high school year, 2001 drops, so that's like one of the biggest albums of fucking all time. But we always kind of like gravitated to this more underground sound. We like more lyrics over flash and shit
Yeah.
like that. So all of us had a similar common mind state, so a high mind state at times, and so we would fish for this other shit, man, and we would share all this music, and it got to a point where Action just started making beats out of nowhere. He's like, yo, you need to come to the pad and see what I got, and we were trying freestyle.
Yeah.
We sucked, but he started showing beats, and I'm like, fuck, should I freestyle on that? He's like, let's make a song. And from there, it just sparked. We fucking got Orbs involved, Scruff got involved, and from there, we just kept fucking pushing envelopes and kept trying new shit, going out there trying to do shows, perform it, and it was just like an organic approach to hip hop from the city we were in, right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the origin of where the Prophets kind of got their shit going.
So speaking about the Prophets, talk about your guys' styles, because there's 3 of you in the group.
4.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 of you guys in the group, but you guys all got different styles.
And that was one thing that was cool. Like, so like when we were digging, trying to find new music to listen to, we all fell into these different groups of things, right? Like Scruff would bring Shapeshifter shit to the table,
Yeah.
all the time. He fucking loved it, loved their styles. You see a bit of it in there. Orbs was on some crazy. He heard Acid Rain. He's like, yo, this shit is a fucking angle to attack, right?
Yeah.
I was on some Dale the Funky Homo Sapien. Action was on some, he brought fucking Benefit to the table. We're like, what the fuck? So all our styles always came from different angles. And we thought instead of trying to be J5, which is impossible to do besides
Yeah.
J5, let's bring what we have and let's see if we can make it mash. And for as long as it's been going, it's been worked out pretty good.
Talk about the earlier years about the studio sessions. What did you guys do? How was it formulated when you guys walked in there?
Shit, man, like, so like we had that analog 4-track, right? I wish I still had it. I gave it to Smack. He was a member of Prophets at the time. Orbs' cousin, and he lost it. But that was like a little memorabilia for myself that I lost. It's in a dumpster somewhere. But but like we were literally pulling a long mic cord into the bathroom that was right next to Action's room, where he
Yeah.
had Fruity Loop beats set up, a little computer, and we were running back and forth, recording from that. It was fucking so, in his parents' house.
Yeah.
So just not knowing what the fuck, but we thought, hey, that's a mic booth now. The toilet's the mic booth, right? You know, and
Like-
we were just moving. Yeah, we were just moving back and forth, just trying to create a product, something that we could replay. And what the fuck, you know?
How many albums you guys have all together now?
Poetic Prophets got. Well, Sworn to Secrecy came from a bathroom session.
Yeah.
We won't mention that. That was the first thing we put out. We should not have put that out.
Why not?
At the year we did not, because it was just so raw and too much.
But
people liked it. People have it, and some people asked me for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, yeah. We were just experimenting. I looked at it as a big experiment, but
But for me, that's the music that I look for. I don't want the polished gem.
polished.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want the polish. Like, give me some raw, because that's, for me, I feel like that's where the best ideas are.
and you know, they're crazy ideas. It
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
wild too. But you know what? It really, what it was too was like at those years, the living legends were talking about backpacking, selling shit out your backpack.
Yeah.
Project Blowed was doing that. It was like, you see him, if you could find this dude, you could buy that music that you can't find anywhere.
Yeah.
So that was our approach. Like, we got something, let's try and put it out. And we're moving at a faster speed because we knew the knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think the music was ready. But anyway, we have a prototype of our productivity was like, now it's getting somewhere. Like, these ideas, these songs are getting crafted correctly.
Yeah.
And then we had the Black Market, which really got better. It got a little, we were really doing a lot of kind of like, we're getting loaded a lot back then. You could tell like the music focused around that shit.
Yeah.
And then we really took a little time, and then we made Bad of the Bong Load. And that one to me really seems like, whoa, we found something. We really got together. We were on the same page.
That's definitely, to me, that's definitely a classic.
I fucking appreciate that.
I honestly feel like that's a classic. I think that, I mean, I've heard your music through many stages, but I definitely feel like that album was like very well thought.
Yeah.
You guys definitely mixed your styles, the way you guys had your cadence and the way you guys, well, not introduced, but the way you guys flipped the script on who went next or whatever. I honestly felt like that album was really, really dope.
And you know, it's weird. We were talking earlier. It's like the time you have, like we really were all in the studio together, really in the same like eco, you know, our heads were all in the right place. And so that's cool. So that's what we have out up to date. We have so many like solo projects, duo projects in between where you can check our Bandcamp, poeticprofits.bandcamp.com, and you can get a lot of our stuff for free.
Nice.
Music, you can't charge for it anymore.
Yeah. How'd you get the name Fresh Raheem?
Well, I started off Dasm the Spy.
Dasm? Why Dasm the Spy?
That was like a graph name. Dasm was like the graph name. He said, why the fuck would you call yourself? Why did James call himself Bond? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's like I figured like, okay, Dasm, maybe Spy, but you're like Dasm the Spy, the General Lieutenant of hip hop. Like, goddamn, homie, that's a long ass name.
And when I write lyrics, they're good, rough. It was a graph name, and then like I just wanted to add something to it to be like I was trying to be cool, you know, and like, oh, I'm just not a graph name. Graffiti artist MC, and I was fucking dumb, you know? and then I switched it because I kept getting called Daz all the time. Hey, what up, Daz? And I'm like, this ain't gonna work on the West Coast.
Yeah,
that's definitely not gonna fucking work. And so I just kind of was throwing shit around, and it sounded kind of cool.
So Fresh Raheem came because it sounded cool.
It sounded kind of cool.
You hear that, kids? You want to be an artist? Just think of a cool name.
Fucking cool, bro. There's deeper meanings, but it's like that's when I get my Kaleidoscope book.
Oh,
right?
shit!
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mike and I.
Nice, nice. Are you gonna get emotional with it too? If we get a little bit deep,
definitely not.
We're gonna have some hurt wounds, huh?
You
gonna be affected by it?
I just definitely fuck around all day.
That's what's so dark. And then how about for yourself? How many solo albums you got?
I got one solo project.
One? That's it?
I only got one that I put out. I got like 4 made. I'm working on something new because, man, I really enjoy the process of making the music. Everything else is like fucking mundane as fuck. Really? Putting it out there is fucking great, but fuck, man, I lag on so much shit. So it's the working process. I really like the creating process that I really, and sometimes I'm critical, overcritical, I guess, where it's like, I like that beat, but I don't like that beat. Let's change this. Let's rearrange this. I love rewriting verses. I used to never do that shit.
Yeah.
And now it's like a process. I learned that from a homie of mine who he writes scripts. He does film, and he gave me he's like, yo, you're I like your idea input on when I spit you my shit. Read this one, and then like a week later he gave me another one. Well, read this one. Then he gave me another one. Then another one. I was like, what the fuck is this process? And he's like, rewriting is the way to go. And I never did that with my verses. I would get it to a point. I'm like, that's verse 1. Let's go verse 2 now.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, whoa, fuck, like that third bar is weak.
But you don't feel like you.
That.
But you don't feel
but
like
it
you
takes
lose.
time. It just takes time.
You don't feel like you lose something from that though, because usually I don't know with artists.
Okay, I see
when
what
you're in
saying.
there, you're writing something at that moment, at the time, you're feeling something, to go back and then overanalyze it, and then if that's what you're gonna do, you're gonna keep rewriting that verse
Forever.
over and over. Yeah.
Well, it's not so much I rewrite the whole verse. It's like lines that I know are weak. But you know, it actually sped up the process for me too, because I'll start a verse off and I'll know this third bar I don't really got it, but I got like the next move, so I'll leave that blank, keep going. And I'll come back to it, right?
Yeah,
because I know the space and the timing now.
Yeah.
It's like once you could get your style, your craft, whatever it is, once you get it, you know how to manipulate it, move it around, pause it, get back to it. You know, like that's kind of one thing that I think that comes with working on your craft for years. You know?
Yeah. How many years deep are you now?
Again, like time, and I was on time today. I was on fucking time.
You were.
I never on time.
I was shocked.
Time and shit like that, dates, I maybe 10, 15 years probably rhyming. I don't know. I don't know. I never really like put a date to shit, so I'm like, a long time. Kids, takes a long time to be this drunk.
We're gonna play another track right now, Gone with the Wind. Talk about that and introduce that.
Gone with the Wind, okay, is definitely, I lost some sound here, but it's back. Gone with the Wind is a song from the up-and-coming Poetic Prophets album that I stopped talking about because I didn't want to tell you the title yet. So Gone with the Wind, not out, new Poetic Prophet album. We still working, boys and girls.
Yo, it's called style, not swag, and I got it in my rap. And I give it all I got a hat, scruff, be the better bad. Not one to slack, I wear the mad hat I had. Gone with the wind, I'm gone with a Buddha drag. Roll with a clan that make the beat the bounce. Substance will solidify the sound. 1, 2, who's really keeping count? Roll like a veteran in the here and now. When I get a little praise, it'll raise the pace. Slow down, no make it faster. Caught up in the middle of reason, the middle, but never try to middle with a beard the bastard. Scruff, flow, pro, report, and ass focal. Maniacal mofo with musical mojo. Bloodhead, roughneck, born to flow though. Scruff one got more dope than Momo. Loving the grime, addicted to bass. Deliver that shit like a tidal wave. Hurricane Scruff shut down the place. I'll be the king of the jungle, man, the strongest safes from the underground like a Cali quake. Not down for the runaround, cut the fake. Hit hella hard like a punch in the face. Drop that beat, no need to wait. Attack him with the magic that's coming automatically. I put him in a panic when I'm murdering the melody. Manic on the matter to the best of my ability. Slice on the syllables and put them when they ought to be. I get it while the getting's going good, incredibly strong. When I rip up a song or a track and I'm taking it back much quicker than it took. Suck like the bitches so I bring out the hook.
Centennial millennium sitting no cent from below and incinerates a bit of a belligerent and touchable a ricochet the double flow and disarray the bubble pop and I rock and they kick 'em low shot when they drop my arsenal to you by carpool strike with a harpoon straight to the chest guaranteed to hit the flesh take a left with delirium a mess and I pass to anyone and everyone that steps and I put 'em on arrest eternally and murdering and curving the bar like a predator territorial shark master ceremonial with foliage in the bark and they bite and they kill 'em on sight when they snipe to the scope and the crosshairs rhyme like you got a pair like it's not a fair game or a race or a test or a place into my best in the face all property public prophecy drunken 151 concussion come again with a tenement bum rushing if you wanna fuck with champion medallion and Cali's my home balancing my soul and my mind and you know where to find the dope is a rhyme that to cope over times that are dead that I get a bunch of less than a negative on medicine is how to get a vitamin fresh
Design like a novelty. Raheem, no one gonna stop me. No one gonna top my posse. Put in perspective, predator stalking. Yo, I got the big cock, yo, and I'm cocky. C to the O-L to the A. Homie, better get the fuck up out my way. Putting me in a bad predicament, no way. Better put it away. Better put up, shut up, or you live in the grave. I'm a renegade and I'm finna rage, show finna entertain. Anyone can get it that is in the range. Uncontrolled substance, uncontained, cause I'm a bastard. Do a master like a runaway slave, and I never get captured, cause Black Lives Matter. Oh yeah, silence the chatter. Talking influencers, actors. You be the cancer. You got no gift for the gambler. You and your pitiful patterns will put it to rest. This is you feeling enamored. This is me climbing the ladder for corporate success. If I don't conquer my quest, it's like I just slipped off the ledge. The fall to my death. That's if I land on my head. Nope, I was saved by the dreads and tangled the webs. If that was a plot for revenge, that was a feeble attempt. Not as evil as my ego can get. Voodoo needle would go straight through the neck. You in the fetal just waiting for death. Stupid people, placebo effect.
Like Debo, I keep 'em in check. Try to keep talking, but they out of breath. Put 'em in coffins the day of their death. Pushing up daisies, too much lean, now I got 'em all lazy. One more pill, now she calling me baby. Sunday stroll like I'm driving Miss Daisy. Don't give a fuck really how much you pay me. Keep spitting that shit, driving you crazy. No one can tame me. Like an animal cage, I've been waiting all day to roll another J and to get 'em all blazed. Same old same, and I can't feel pain and I can't feel safe. Like a strap on the waist, no cap won't last in a race. Real big guns go blast in the face. I might get drunk, start crashing the place, harassing a date. Rapping attack since back in the day. Team of the prophets, we back in LA. Pulling from crates, gotta sample the bass. Gone with the wind, not gone when it breaks.
Ooh, damn. You were tuned into the freshest, the dopest, the one and only www.diggindaily.com. Fresh Raheem.
Yeah.
Cola Crew. Poetic Prophets.
Yeah.
Live right here on air. This is the way radio. Fire, homie, fire.
Thank you. So yeah, we were kind of talking Poetic Prophets, and I didn't get. We have some new shit. We got like an album 80% done, but it's like so stupid to be like, yo, what's coming out for me is that.
Yeah.
So but this is a track from it to show that there's some heat, man. We still got a little bit of fire.
You still got it. You guys still got it. You guys still got it. How many tracks deep are you guys in on the new album?
We pretty much have it mapped out. We just gotta recreate a song or two, and then we're there.
Nice.
Then you got to do all the extra, all the other stuff.
How many tracks
That's just
How many tracks are actually going to be on the album?
Probably going to be 11 tracks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That they kind of spawn a little bit of time. There's we started at there's some 2015 starts that end up getting thrown back into the blender, and we kept moving.
Nice. Damn, that shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit was fucking hard.
For y'all that don't know, because y'all probably don't know, it started off with Scruff 1, and then it went into Orbs, and then it went Fresh RAHEEM, and then Action ended it. It's an action beat, and yeah, man, like this new album, I've been putting a lot of work in on it. It's just us getting together to finish it all out.
I was gonna ask, because I mean, shit,
it's tough. It's tough.
Older now, some cats have families, some guys, shit, life.
Yeah, life hits.
How easy it for you guys to get in the room together?
It's what's crazy is because they all have kids. I don't have kids that I know of.
Or that I'm not claiming.
No, it's not even about claiming. If I knew about it, I'd be like, God damn it, that one's mine. Fuck.
It'd be an ugly motherfucking kid. I hate to say
man,
it,
he never had a fucking haircut, and no. But we get together a lot, but it's family shit, so we can't just like sneak away. We could talk about it, but it's like actually getting time where there's no family, just us in the studio. You have to take advantage of it when we get it, and
were you guys trying to take this out? Like when you guys sat down and talked about this album, what direction you guys trying to take it in?
Just get music out. It's not gonna take over the globe. Like when you're 18, you're like, we're gonna fucking tour with Wu-Tang Clan. It's just realistically, we want to get our music out, and we do have fans, so like give the fans more music that they could enjoy.
Yeah. That's what's up. You guys got any shows coming up anytime soon?
Shows have been weird. We don't got nothing profit wise. I've been doing actually kind of drum and bass shows. I've made good connections throughout being running around, and I always had like a good connection with like Q45, APX1, and they've through Phoenix too. Phoenix made a lot of those connections. And they hit me up the other day. They'd seen me. I ran into them, and they're like, "Yo, let's do some show. Let's link up." And I just did I Love LA, which was always a great show.
Yeah.
You eat the cookies, you know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, man, it's just kind of getting back in the mix of things and showing face places, because it's hard to get out on weeknights, you know.
Yeah,
and that's where a lot of connections do happen. So
yeah. For yourself, man, being an artist, dude, what's the hardest thing you feel you got to deal with on the regular?
Ooh, man, it's balancing emotions, maybe.
In what way?
Everyone has to work, right? You gotta pay bills. Sometimes my mind goes to the point where it's like, I should thrash whatever's around me and walk the fuck out, right? And my job's not even stressful, dude. It's just that you think like an artist's momentum and his momentum's the wrong word. His motivation comes in spurts where you can't kind of predict it. So when it's on, you're like, I don't give a fuck about shit except for what I should be working on right now.
Yeah.
And so that process is balancing that and trying to figure out, save that till after work. And then don't get distracted with other shit. Let's get in and get some hours in, and let's put some work in. Besides that, I think social media is weird for artists, but I think it's also brilliant for independent artists, right?
It's that double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword.
You need it, but you don't.
What's crazy to me, kind of trips me out, is like comics are the guys now that are getting like the shit end of the stick, right? It's like you can't say jokes about shit. We're still we still get to say whatever the fuck we want, and we're not really persecuted so much. They were back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Like NWA days and shit. They were canceling their shows or whatnot. But
I don't know. I just feel honestly with artists now and with comedians is that artists have music behind it that I hate to say it, a lot of people don't listen to the lyrics. They're either listening to the hook and they're listening to the beat.
Yeah.
And everything else kind of gets fuddled in. This newer generation has a very, very short attention span. So it's very like, okay, what's the hook? What's the beat?
Yeah,
and then you have you music listeners that don't even like the artist, they just like the beats.
Or they just like the appeal this guy has or something, right?
Yeah,
like,
and like you said, it's the content that they put out on social media. Artists are getting signed now not because they're dope. They're getting signed because record labels are like, all right, let's sign this fucking person.
Look at the followers.
Yeah, they have 10 million followers. Out of that 10 million, I'm pretty sure we could sell 3 million units.
Yeah,
and that's all they're looking at. They're looking at product. They're looking at product.
It streams at this point.
And they don't gotta pay money in marketing no more because these kids are marketing themselves.
They're marketing themselves.
Yeah,
like the business side of music, I've never been. I can't say I'm fucking savvy at it all, but it hasn't changed, right?
Yeah.
So it's still them manipulating popularity and trying to overexpose it, and then when we're done with you, who's the next?
Yeah.
Who's the next?
We got you. Spit you out. Who's next?
Yeah.
Okay, we got you. We're done with you. Who's next?
Someone said it. I think it was Patrice O'Neal said something about like the belly of the beast is what we keep talking about and we fear from or some shit. But he's like, but the second they get shit out, for some reason they still get back in the escalator to go right back in. It's funny.
You know what it is? It's just fame is that fucking thing, bro. People want to be famous, and even if their 15 minutes are up, people just can't let it go.
They hold on to that. It's like an idea, and then it's a reality, and then it's like an idea again, right?
Yeah.
It's just this bullshit. But what's crazy is like artists like that you bring onto your platform and your homies, because we all have a lot of artist homies. We don't really kind of think that way though, right?
No, you know what?
Do we get labeled wrong for that?
No,
we kind of do, like,
you know what?
Like our family members.
No, you know what it is? Fucking scumbag.
Fucking dick. What are you doing forever?
Do something with your life.
I'm rhyming. What the fuck?
You know what? I think with the platform that we provide, I don't think it's so much. We're not looking for the most famous person that has 1 million views.
Yeah.
We just want dope artists coming in and playing dope music. We just want to expose it, and it's kind of like cult-like,
Yeah.
We have our cult listeners. We have our hard supporters that will go in, that will look for music, and then, because it's the same thing with us. We have people that won't watch the YouTube page, but they're waiting to see what we post, and then they'll go to that artist and then add that artist and then follow that artist.
And that's how it grows.
And it grows. And for us, it's just, you know what? And for me, I don't, speaking, I'm only one member of this team, but speaking as myself, the member of this team, I don't mean, if we get 1 million fucking followers, that's fucking dope. But
what's so dope about you too is that, like, you didn't try it and fail, and then like, oh, that was a good try. Like, you're boom, 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 this, a pause, boom, boom. Like, you've been going at this for so long, and it's like that shows so much without having all the million views or this. It's like, yo, this is what we do. This is why we get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Is to fucking continue expressing ourselves, and you guys actually bring people in to help express themselves.
Yeah,
exactly. You give the rock to springboard off.
Yeah,
of,
well, that, and it's like, fuck. There's a lot of dope artists that need attention.
Yeah.
And
where does that come from in you? Like, what brought that out of you to, like, want to help? Because you talk shit.
I do.
And
talk
some
a lot
people
of shit.
And some people would probably think, oh, Shonuf's an asshole and
I
he's
am, and you
not
know what?
cool.
I am.
But it's like, no, but he put a platform up. His personality has nothing to do with the willingness he has and the gift you have to try and help people move forward.
Honestly, what it was, it goes back to my youth. Homie in the projects, MC Husky, my homeboy MC213. They were artists. They didn't really have a platform, but they went out there and they just, like, hustled hard. you know, and they were doing gangster rap. They were
Yeah.
doing like Chicano rap back in the you know the early 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. And they didn't have like a platform to go to, and they had a record deal with Uptown Records, and they had just signed, and the homie Husky passed away at an early age. Rest in peace. And you know, years later, I linked up with MC213. He goes by Hillside now. I linked up with him and just hearing the stories and him saying like, man, if you know, it was hard for us, you know, having a platform, and you know, we'd have to, you know, they would go on fucking public access and perform on public access because it was public access. And
see, yeah, we were too young for that. That would have been fucking cool, because that's like a strike though too, right?
Yeah. You know,
like,
you
it
do
was just finding your. Actually, we did do a public access. I'm lying though. We did one for I'm lying. We did one for it was Families Feeding Familias.
Oh shit, nice.
and we did a couple songs, and yeah, we were young, but we did get a little public access. So shout out to me being old. Young motherfucker.
We're gonna do a part 2 right now. We're gonna close out right now. We're gonna do a part 2